Good day, fellow Ghanaians. We are once again, I'm here as the Convention People's Party, the presidential candidate. When I talk about Convention People's Party, I am referring to the party that took us from colonial evasion and brought us to political independence. This is the party that was established by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The name Convention People's Party is what he came up with. The symbol you see here today, which is the red cockerel, is the symbol that took you out of colonial evasion into where we are today. Today, we are at the same crossroad where the people of this country was asking for freedom. Freedom to govern themselves, freedom to make up their own decisions because they knew that they had the capability. We are at the same spot. And I believe that the Ghanaian youth and the Ghanaian not only has the capability, but they have the ability. So we are asking that the cry of the youth, your cry that you have been crying for the past how many years? 32 years. 32 years in this Fourth Republic. 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years. 16 years for both. Today the time is here. And I standing here representing all of you, your spirits combined, that I, Nana Frimpomaa, come 7th December, when you have voted for yourself, when you have voted for the cockerel, you would have voted for your future. Why am I saying this? The idea of all this whole thing that we are asking you to do is to take back the country. Take back the country. We want to give you back the ownership. The reason for which we fought for the independence and made you a sovereign state was so that you would be sovereign in your ways, so that you can live a life of meaning in your own country. And that is a life that we are packaging for you today. We have three main policies, three main pillars to start with. One is ethics, equity, and innovation. On this ethics and equity and innovation is about accountability. You and I know the country we are in today. No intention can work for you. We have reached a point where even when you decide to do what you believe is your God, that you have spoken to your God, it does not work. You and I are a witness to it. When our father said that he was going to build a cathedral for the people of this country, where is the cathedral? And what happened? Corruption and lack of accountability has eaten the very fabric of our nation, of our nature, of our essence. And that is why ethics is so important for us. Then we talk about equity. 85 to 90% of this nation, including myself, the everyday person, struggles through life without any provision from government. I mean, when I say any provision from government, I'm talking about provision as simple as free SHS that were given. Though we started, that was done now. So every child, whether you were born in any condition, you can have access. That is the kind of provision I'm talking about. There is no provision for us. So we are referring here to equity. And that equity means that every Ghanaian listening to my voice, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you were born, from the end of this country, upper west, upper east, it doesn't matter, to the corner of Doma, to Elibu, no matter where, is it through the border of Aflao, as long as you are Ghanaian. And even when you've gone to the diaspora, you would be given 20,000 Ghana cedis. It is called Ghana Bashers. Ghana Bashers simply means this. Every Ghanaian, you will be entitled to a certain amount of money that would be reinvested into making sure that we move ourselves from the informal sector to the formal sector. And so we take you from the informal sector to the formal sector. The world will be thinking that the Ghanaian has an employment because the definition and the metrics that they use to find out who is not employed says that as long as you have not looked for a job for the past 3 weeks, you are employed. That for me does not fit into Ghana, does not fit into Africa. Because the lady in my village, who is a peasant farmer, who all she has is hoe and cutlass, and today can barely even feed herself because there was no rainfall, is considered employed. That will change under my administration with the Convention People's Party. With the Convention People's Party, we believe in state-led economy. We believe that the state itself must be rich. But over the years, when we were truncated, everything that we had worked for, everything that had been put in place that made us have over 400 factories, and built all the motorway and the Akosombo Dam and everything that you today enjoy as the major pillars of this country, was done in 3 years. And it was truncated. So today, we have a country that even if you are 50 years, it means that 32 years of your wasted time to bring us where we are here today. If you are 40 years, it means 32 years. It means you were 8 years when this whole cycle of 8 years started. We are at a point and a crossroad where if we decide to go straight to government projects, the corruption and the greed, the lack of connection to the people and to what we owe, even anything that is government, the lack of corruption that we see within public sector. So there is a hybrid program now. And the hybrid program is something that we are using based on Ghana. We have Ghananized the solution to ensure that you, the Ghanaian, is on top and owns this country. So here is our first program, Ghana Bashers. Ghana Bashers means that every Ghanaian is entitled to a certain amount of money, 20,000. It is for you. It's an allocation. So what it means is that you are a tailor, you are a seamstress. Over the years, you have ideas. You know you can make the same shoes, but you don't have the equipment. You don't have the funds. Your father doesn't have, your mother doesn't have. Yet, your brother had to travel all the way to Italy or somewhere. Or he went there, he's back. You don't have the capital. Ghana is going to give you the capital. We will ensure that you have the capital to live your dreams, because it's in living your dreams as individuals, living your dreams as a group, that the country's dream will be realized. The dream of economic independence, the dream for which we took the freedom and gave you the sovereignty. It was sovereignty is not so that people will enrich themselves. So now that you have Ghana Bashers, you, the people that can really do something in the area of making shoes, you need 1 million Ghana cedis. You need 500,000. If it's 1 million Ghana cedis, don't worry. Your father doesn't have to sell his or her house. Government is going to support you. So here is the partnership between government and yourself. That 1 million means simply you need 50 youth, 50 old men, 50 people, whether they are blind, deaf, dumb, it does not matter, because in the CPP government, the welfare of people, the development agenda of the people is the #1 priority. So it means that only 50 of you can now put your money together. You have the 1 million Ghana. These people would all have shares. I won't give you the 1 million for yourself so that you take that money, go buy some, put the money in Dubai or somewhere. We won't do that. The money is a Ghanaian. That's where the equity comes in. You take that money, and the 2 of you, the 3 of you, the 10 of you, the 50 of you, if all of you are working in that factory, all the better. If you're not working in the factory, it really doesn't matter. As the factory grows, the shares of the people will grow. If you decided that at that point you want to expand the factory, the foreigner, the investor who is coming to Ghana will come and partner with you. You need extra $10 million. You'd have had the financial statements to show that you really can make shoes and sell them with the proper equipment. Same for the girl who have learned how to sew. You must sit somewhere. We are buying force because things are expensive to make in Ghana, because everybody is on his own. We want to bring you together. Instead of saying it's for state, it's a partnership between state and private sector. So now you need 10 million Ghana cedis to import equipment so that you can sow things at affordable prices. No problem. That 10 million, you only need 500 Ghanaians. 500 seamstresses, 500 masons, it doesn't matter for them to buy into that project. Once they put their 20,000 Ghana interest in that project, now they now own a part of that factory. They have shares. We want to take the person from the informal sector to the formal sector so that we make our new clothes here in Ghana, so that we can do every business. Nobody will be left behind in Ghana. 20 million of you, 20 million in the first year. By the second year, all of you would have access to just $25 billion. All we are asking to change the economy, to change the order, is just 25 billion. We already owe about 80 or 50 billion, how much they say we owe. What can we show? Major infrastructure that does not affect you and that has not affected you. Look at the airport that was put together. That airport that we have, beautiful airport. But the other airport that was doing so well for centuries that I remember when we used to go to London to buy things and come back, that airport was working. Now it has become a cemetery simply because money that were put into a good project was not put into the human capital. So the people that are supposed to have money to be able to travel and use that local terminal are not there. Go there at 6 a.m. when you are traveling. Go there at 10. It's like a cemetery. You see, we want to change the order, the economic order. From all the developed countries, you cannot continue to do the same thing and pray and expect any result that will be different. Everything you do in this country, in this world, must follow a science. And the science is simple. Support the human beings. Put your energy in your capital of the beings of the people. Support them. If you borrow money, put it there because the economy will generate itself and it will turn around and it will grow. But when you talk about capital, when you talk about private sector, and you, the government, does not have money, and you put the money into infrastructure programs, and you then go and borrow money for railway, which we will do anyway, and for other things, and the people are still struggling. And what do you end up doing? They owe debt, money they can't pay, there's high inflation, and people will be struggling. What we have today in Ghana is a situation where the economy cannot be controlled because we are not self-sufficient. We are not self-reliant. We do not grow enough to even feed ourselves, to talk about production and to talk about exporting. With this project, the Ghana Bashers, nobody will be left behind. And all big companies will be owned by the Ghanaian, the fishermen, who over the years have small boats, and yet the big vessels come to the shore and take the fish within our shores and can them, and we still end up buying them. It's a thing of the past under my administration, because all of you, the fishermen along the coast, is it 5,000 of you? Put your shares together. You need something that will cost you maybe 50 million. Or let's say 20 million Ghana cedis. It really doesn't matter. The money's the shares, that is where the money will go to. We will get you the vessel, and you would own the vessel. You will do the scanning within your own vessel, and it will be yours. So 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, your children who love to fish will now rise up onto a different level. We will fade hoe and cutlass farming. Listen to me. Hoe and cutlass farming will be a thing of the past. Nobody is ever going to worry about taking hoe and cutlass to farm so that you can have access to your fufu, your banku, your ampesi. It is inhumane for people to hoe and cutlass for you to eat. That is why we are coming up with the Ghana Bashers and the policy of the AgroSure. AgroSure is our major policy towards equity. AgroSure simply means that anybody who plants in Ghana, please, muntie me, had the tree. Kwenya wutie masem. Se wo ye kuani me se me na na Frimpomaa me gina ha me bosh me ka cho se woto aba na wato ma ho fi se ye da na wato aba na wie no ekuani biara wo dua waduane na waduane no se ebe pro wa bansem me say waduane wo ndua ma ne pro wo nsem biem the moment I would dua wa bro wo dua wo tomatoes wo dua wo nkruma time no aban ato efri say you do not have any way of knowing whether the next door village has even grown more tomatoes or okra than you. And your buying responsibility. And then your mrancy, that is why the third one is innovation. Your mrancy, no, or mukita technology. Technology number. And so when you na aban ebe hu se wadua na aban ato afi nsem se na ye koko na mo bi na da wo se de America na nye nokware misro koko udua aban to fi nsem sa pepe na bibia beye se na be ya wo hu nchire wo bi. How will this happen? Ghana Bashers agrosure. Is it just a rhetoric? Absolutely not. The third one, which is the core of all our whole year banefreno, government at your doorsteps. Me dream upon many achi. If we say and let me be sure will say come 7 December. But betwa bamboa Emma Ghana for. Betwa bama CPP. Betwa bama me na me nyan to me na. Member be ye the ma country. What can we cross what you are? What can we cross what afro? What can we cross what pando? What can we cross what chupe? How na me be free? Now what can we cross what chupe hono? How you supposed to know say wo farmer no wo bia wade na mpa ye beto. This is what is coming. Government at your doorsteps, our major center flagship program, say, baby, wherever you walk to go and vote, please listen to me. Where you vote will now be your government center. That center, you are voting to bring government to power, will now become your government. Democracy means what? It says government of the people, by the people, for the people. We are bringing it to your doorsteps so that when you plant, the person within the 10 people that will be working and manning every center will come there at your farm and come and upload that farm onto a platform. Then the lady who wants to also be able to produce cassava flour now has a clear understanding how many plantation of cassava that is already there. That is why I'm telling you, a promise from us is our word. That indeed, government at your doorsteps will solve all the problem and will be able for us to implement this corruption where it is from a distance. The decisions are making in some ministry. Baby, about where you vote will become your government center. All the ministries will be there. Technology is real. The ministries will be that one tablet that you are starting with, the laptop. All the ministries will be there with a blockchain and AI. Once you go and you tell them what is your issue, it is taken and it's close to everywhere. Listen to me, youth of today. No youth will be there unemployed that we won't know. Nobody's salary will be less that we won't know. No woman will be having a stroke in a room that nobody will know. Your neighborhood, which is dirty, that you don't know what to do, will not be there that you won't know. Government at your doorstep is a solution that is bringing the 3 major programs of the Convention People's Party, which is putting the welfare and the development of people at the center of everything we do. We are here to ensure that you matter and you make your own decision. And you, if you are from Teshi, or you are living somewhere in Labadi, it is not for me to decide what is right for you in that community. It is not for me to tell you I'm bringing you water, I'm bringing you road, I'm bringing you this, and when I don't bring, then you are there. You, the people in Teshi, your government center, which is where you work to vote, is where you govern from. And that is how decentralization with the welfare of the people at the center of everything. Everybody will be entitled to some money. Don't let whether you are a market woman, whether if the marketplace, nobody is coming to own your market again. If the market people want to build the market shops, which we believe must be done to make it have the high tech and very current, your money, 1,000 of you, your money means that you are having access to 20 million Ghana cedis. You will start the first floor. The investor who is coming to bring the money now will come and partner with you. Nobody's going to come and take your land. Nobody's come and take anything that belongs to you. Ghana, and so is the Galamsey. The Galamsey, let me wrap up and tell you, young people, when we come here today, that I can assure you, because of the love we have for you as my son, my love for you as a child, as my grandchildren, I will not sit here for you to die. I will not sit here for you to kill yourself and kill everybody and have children that are made. The Galamsey ends. Galamsey simply means illegal mining. It ends the day we take over power. But let me assure you, and take this from me, though we would end Galamsey, you would own the gold. Though we would end the Galamsey, you would own the mine. Nobody is coming from anywhere to come and mine, because your Ghana shares will be put together. 1,000 of you will now be able to have 200 million and 220 million US Ghana cedis. Buy the equipment, bring the equipment in, start your mining. I won't tell you to do community mining and give the concession to somebody else, and I know you don't have the money. No. Galamsey but 100% will do gold. Because I bind be boamo, and my bibiamo ye biano, ajeji. But some mamutia says assembly simple. Obi be can't say Ghana for CPP for me can ye boa. Sign a can't say independence, almost say and see a buyer. Sign a bib ye buy so ye free education. Obi be can't say be a senior ye, make sure you would have access to funds. No agriculture, no farmer would struggle again, and governance will be at your doorstep. And there will be no way that you will be struggling. We won't know how many youth is not eating today, how many youth has never. And at the center of the government at your doorsteps will be 10 people who have access to health, education, and everything. 10 people with different background. And so from that point on, you can access me at the Flagstaff House. Every day I know how many of my children are struggling, how many of my children haven't eaten, how many of my children are in some need, how many of them are living their dreams, and how many of them haven't lived yet. 20 million of you, no discrimination, would have access to 20,000 Ghana each. And that you have my word on it. I can assure you. So on this note, I believe that I have said a lot. So I want to take this time to ask you questions. I mean, if you have any question, just bring it out. Because this is the time that you have voted for people, 32 years, that this time you're going to vote for yourself. You're going to vote for yourself. You're going to vote for your future. You're going to vote for your children and your grandchildren. And that will be the best thing that you can give the Convention People's Party and Osagyfo's legacy. Osagyefo in his dream. So let's go ahead. Ask me any question, and let's see how we judge all together to make sure that we understand the policy that we have brought together.
Ruth on Facebook wants to know, what is your plan to deal with inequalities between women and men?
Wonderful. The first thing in terms of inequality between women and men, I just want to tell men this. I'm not, you see me very strong. I just believe in that right thing being done. I just believe that every person is a child of mine. If I have 10 children, which my mother had, whether you are born blind, you can't walk, you are very smart, not too brainy, you are my child. And I will not discriminate. That food will be shared for everybody. That is why equity. For women, let me assure you, when I was paying for my fees, the best thing that ever happened was I got a discount. I was at 30% discount. So I can assure all women that the affirmative action will be fully enforced. Simply because what women can do, you've heard that, men can do better. There is a touch that women bring to every development. And that touch that women bring, that feminine touch, that compassionate touch, is why in our proverb, in Akan, no matter how big you are, if there's a confusion, And the people see, say, okay, let's give you time. Kobi Sabriwa, Nabra. That is all it is. Today, we will empower 50% of our people. That is why the Ghana Ambassadors is done so that women who have been working on the farms, women who have been market people all these decades, will now have access to funding that they don't have to cry every day, knowing where are they going to pay for their interest rate. This is funds coming with no interest rate, only to support you so your business grows. And that is why we are supporting women. When you support mothers, when you support women, and in the area of education, everything that we do, we would apply some level of affirmative action. But I want to tell the men, I'm not that woman who believes that women should take place, come and replace men. I believe that women and men must work together with respect. However, because of our history, it is important that we give some little support to women so that they can come out there, because the woman is the one that carries the baby for 9 months. That time alone, my daughter going through a process, she goes through so much complication. And so for that reason, she's already handicapped. So if she was in the institution with you, you might think she's not smart, but she's a very smart person. So affirmative action will go somewhere further. I believe that even my presence here, trying to stand to become the first female president of Ghana, would inspire a lot of women to not wait for their turn only, but to get up and do what they believe in. Don't wait and listen to people. Just get up. My presence alone, I believe, will do a lot to get women there. And my government will put women, 50% of them, in most decision-making positions. That I can assure you.
Amma on Facebook says, some criticize the central bank for its role in the current economic difficulties. What are your thoughts?
To some extent, I would say I agree with them. The central bank is the policy making, because of the policy that we have in terms of what we can do with the dollar, what we can't do with the dollar, what we can import. Those decisions sometimes affect how the dollar fluctuates. So in our situation, we will definitely work with our economists to ensure that nobody is putting prices, doing anything with dollar. These things are things that are said, but people don't implement it. We'll also ensure, just as one of the policies I see, which is trying to use the gold so that people can buy gold directly, gold coins, is a good policy coming from the central bank. I think it should be highly and fully implemented. So yes, we will ensure that the Ghanaian entrepreneur really makes enough to pay the right taxes as corporate. That is why we are taking them from the informal sector to the formal sector. The central bank decisions, which is made at a central location, will now be influenced from decision from the local government level, because central bank is not an isolation. Central bank works for all of us. And so, yes, in a way, I think so. But I feel like they're handicapped. They're handicapped because most of the decisions that they make are all conditionalities that have been given by donor firms and foreign firms and all these institutions that we borrow so much from. And because we borrow so much from them, they tell us what to do. And because of that, the central bank, which is the institution that actually is able to do the implementation and comes up with these policies, has really over the years have not been able to come up with a better, because if they did, truly, today, we won't be at the position that we are in. So I agree with the people saying that. And the CPP under my government, based on our policy of not focusing on free trade, our policy of not focusing with this neoliberal policy of allowing everybody to come in here and do the kind of investment that they do, where anyone can come in, that would lessen the burden on our economy, on the dollar. And once it lessens the burden on the dollar, because today, let me tell you, one of the reasons why the dollar is so high is because when we were much younger, we used to travel to go buy things from abroad. By the time you go and buy the things to come and sell, you then have to take time to sell the thing because you don't have that much money. And then it takes you a while to change the dollars. But things have changed now. Now we have big retail institutions who are bringing the goods from their country. And because the goods are coming from there, they bring thousands of containers a day, a month. It is already on credit. So as they are selling, they must change to dollar. And that is why the dollar has no room to even breathe. So yes, if you ask me, I believe that within our system would ensure that because we are going to empower the Ghanaian, and because we will not be taking money from these donors, any money, most money that will come to Ghana will be investment money for partnership, not investment money that has come in as loans that are going to be used. We have the resources, we have the minerals, we have everything. So we would ensure that what we have is what we use to make Ghana work for us.
Sammy on X is asking, what are your plans or thoughts on brain drain?
Brain drain is one of the things that really, over the years, we have come to make it, it's even worse now. It started how many decades ago when we realized how, when people started going to Lagos, even Nigeria, it was called Agege. A lot of teachers were running there because they were hiring so many of our people. We didn't have enough here. Today, it's even worse. If we don't take care, all our professionals will leave us. And you are not leaving us because they are evil, because they don't love their country. If the Ghanaians did not love their country, when they get there, Ghana would have collapsed. It is the love for Ghanaians that they have for their country that has sustained this economy. So I believe that the brain drain that we say is only for rhetorics. If you stabilize the economy, if you give the power back to the youth, if you give ownership to the Ghanaian will be able to have income, to pay for quality and for service, and be able to pay the necessary taxes as corporate tax, so that we'll be able to get more funding, we'll be able to partner more, and we will be able to pay the doctor the right amount of salary, the teacher the right amount of salary, and all other professionals will be paid well. And you, the private sector, would also make enough income. Until that system is really taken care of, brain drain would run. Because I, as a young person, or you, I would encourage you to get out of the country so that you come and take good care of me. The worst part about this brain drain now, which we now think is a problem, is the state of our water bodies. The state of the Galamsey, which for me is scaring me. Because if the yam that is being exported now has been found with so much metal and cannot be consumed, then Ghana, we are in a really terrible state. And it calls for emergency. It calls for a major crisis. We need to repeal the law that allows us to enter our forest. We need to stop the Galamsey. So if you ask me, brain drain is simply a search for better opportunity in life. Brain drain is simply looking for, and that is the spirit of the Ghanaian that I like. He will walk from here to Libya, go into capsizing boat because he will not sit here to die. May God bless all the youth across this nation. May God bless all the diasporans. Let us work with commitment. Let us do what is right for this nation. Let us put the human being at the center of every decision we make, so that our young people will not put their energy and struggle outside, die in capsizing boats, and bring the money to take care of us. For me, it is not fair. So brain drain, here we come. The Convention People's Party, all of you hearing me there, you are nice people, good people. Tell your family to vote for number 7. Number 7. Come 7 December. So that on the 7th of January, Ghana will be heading towards the same place that Osagifo intended to take us. The same path that brought us 400 factories in 3 years, that we will come and finish the rest of the 4-year, 7-year plan that we had. We had a 7 years. We did only 3 years. We had 4 years left. Tell your people to go ahead and vote for themselves this time. Vote for you in the diaspora. The Ghana Bashers includes all of you. And so, I can tell you, as I stand here today, that Ghana is going to see a change. Vote for the first woman president. Vote for the Convention People's Party again. It is not by chance that, again, I am the first woman of the Convention People's Party's presidential candidate and also aspiring to be the first woman president of Ghana. All of you in Nkrumah East, with your love for Sajifo, come and vote us to power. Let's all come back and work. All of you have ideas, your passion, your commitment. I know it's there. Let's all come and do it. Otherwise, forever keep silent. No need to complain. Because if you just go between these two parties, whatever you see today is just going to get worse. God bless all of you.